Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the Ingram in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for August 14, 2026, and it is a pretty solid new arrival week. A lot of Rhino reserves, Rhino hi-fis, a lot of great stuff to show you. I will do it in a minute, but first I want to talk to you guys about the pre-orders that were announced this week, or some of them. We are offering an ever-increasing amount of pre-orders on the website. Stuff we used to get anyways back, years ago. We just only offered a select few things for pre-orders. Now we're offering a lot of stuff for pre-order. But these are some of the highlights of, the 100 titles that were put on the website this week. The Smashing Pumpkins are bringing back Adore and Pisces on vinyl September 18th. 2 new Blue Note Tone Poets, all analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. We've got Booker Ervin's Statue Structurally Sound and Freddie Hubbard's Hubcap, both coming out October 2nd. Let's see, this one's kind of a fun. I'm not a Picture This fan, but this is a Elf Picture This for the Elf soundtrack. It's essentially Will Ferrell kind of in a snow globe. Kind of a cool Picture This. Coming out September 25th. They have announced 3 more Decca Pure analogs. These are a real good idea to pre-order. They only do 3,000 or 3,500 in that range. Similar to the Deutsche Grammophon, all analog. Done by Sidney Meyer, same person who's doing the Deutsche Grammophon original Source series titles. And so far, these are pretty much all sold out. So these are titles you want to get in pre-order because they're not really lasting into release date. They are doing a Vivaldi's 4 Seasons, Symphony Fantastique, and Kyung Wang Chung. What's the name of that title? I didn't write it down, but she has a couple of killer Decca. Well, most of her stuff is on Decca. I think she was probably contracted to Decca at the time. But yeah, some of the things that I've got available for pre-order. Okay, let's get into this week's new arrivals. Also, on a side note, I put up a massive quantity of pre-owned stuff on the website. A lot of great stuff. I bought an amazing, an amazing used jazz and R&B record collection. Nothing modern, all vintage stuff. Just for example, there was 75 Sun Ra on Saturn titles in that collection. I've got a video coming up on it, but I want to say starting throughout this week and even already, I've started putting stuff on the website in our pre-owned section. So check it out. It was 20,000 jazz and soul records. Absolutely an amazing collection. Pretty much every soul artist, every record, this was a complete library. And this was all from a former DJ. So this stuff is pretty much all white label promos and or unplayed. I mean, it's, amazing collection. I'm going to do a dedicated video on that, hopefully in the next week or two. But check the pre-owned section to see some of this stuff. Now, I kept a good chunk of those Sun Ra's, but they replaced a lot of the ones in my collection. So there's going to be like that many going on the website. And I mean, you're lucky to find one Sun Ra on Saturn, let alone like a box full. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much killer stuff. But let's get into this week's new arrivals, starting with the Rhino Hi-Fi of Curtis Mayfield's Superfly. This is the numbered edition to 5,000 copies. Unfortunately, unlike Kick, the number is back behind the Obi, so you don't really know what it is. But yeah. Couple more Verve Request series, Verve Vault. The Verve Request, hit or miss on the sound quality. The Verve Vault stuff has been fantastic. These are all analog, cut from the master tapes by Ryan Smith at Sterling. George Benson's Giblet Gravy. I actually remember talking to George Benson about this record. We were driving, I bought his record collection for you guys that don't know. I did a dedicated video on it if you want to search the channel. I think it's titled, I Bought George Benson's Record Collection. Anyways, I spent some time with him. We went out to dinner a few times. And I remember driving in the car. We were going to Benihana's in his Maybach. And we started talking. And I kind of, we started talking about my musical taste. And I told him that I'm more of a jazz fan of his jazz work than his R&B stuff. And I remember bringing up Giblet Gravy, and he had the biggest smile on his face. And we talked about this, a lot of the stuff he did for CTI, but he started asking me questions about this, and he said something along the lines of like, wow, you've got an immense amount of jazz knowledge. That's amazing. And I had the biggest smile on my face. I didn't mention this in the video, but I remembered seeing this record. But I remember just having the biggest smile on my face. I'm like, man, I like to get that videoed and quoted. But yeah, George Benson's Giblet Gravy. And another Verve Vault title, we've got John Coltrane's Meditations. Same thing, all analog, cut by Ryan Smith. Joyce and Tutty Moreno, part of the Jazz is Dead series. This is number 27 on colored vinyl. John Baptiste, Monk's Meditations, Volume 3 on Verve. Kind of starting out with a chunk of jazz. Blue Oyster Cult's Agent of Fortune, 50th Anniversary Edition on gold vinyl, featuring Don't Fear the Reaper. Now with more cowbell. No, I'm just kidding. But also, This Ain't the Summer of Love. Jethro Tull, jtull.com, another cast of The Net, the 20th studio album, available for the first time on vinyl. Newly remixed and available for the first time on vinyl. I wonder if the album itself is on vinyl for the first time or the remix. Doesn't really specify. The Black Crowes, Lions. This is the 25th anniversary edition from Friday Music. Colin, hey. Let's see, what's Colin doing here? Coke Bottle Green vinyl featuring acoustic versions of Colin Hay of Men at Work of, let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. The hype sticker doesn't really have the Men at Work hits on it. But if you go on the back, there's acoustic versions of Who Can It Be Now, Down Under, It's a Mistake. That seems pretty interesting. I wonder what that sounds like. New album from Marilyn Manson. We've got One Assassination Under God, Chapter 2. Includes a 16-page booklet on indie pink and red swirl vinyl. And this is the green and blue marble vinyl variant. From Specialty Records, we've got Little Richard. Here's Little Richard on Georgia Peach vinyl. That's good, it's good. Limited edition to independent record stores. Let's see. Exploration, explosive 1957 debut from the architect of rock and roll. Oh, same thing. Cool to have that back in print. This is an absolutely phenomenal record. Originals are always trash and destroyed. Let's see. The Monkees, made for TV. This is kind of a Rhino box set. It's not quite a box, but it's a book. Let's see. This is The Monkees with the best of season 1. LP with original TV versions. The complete season 1 soundtrack on 2 CDs. So it's a combination. CDs, Blu-rays, and 1 LP, 2 CDs, and 1 Blu-ray. Oh, that's interesting. It only has... The Blu-ray has some of the episodes, but not all of them. So episode 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 24, 27, 28, and 32. Oh, I guess these are the episodes that have the tunes. So like episode number 12 had Gonna Buy Me a Dog and Mary Mary. That's kind of cool. They line up with the album. Cool piece. Selena, Dreaming of You, the 30th anniversary picture disc. Kind of a gold embossed 30th anniversary. Phoebe Bridgers, Lost Weekend. Let's see, this is the Rogue Planet vinyl version. And we've got a Phoebe Bridgers, just the standard Lost Weekend. And we are also doing a listening party tonight. Now, I myself wouldn't have signed up for this had I known, but Vivian did, and she did it without actually reading the email. So she signed up for a listening party. It is at 11 o'clock tonight. So from 11 p.m. to midnight, we're going to open the store for the very first time. We've never been open that late. We're going to all come back to work. We're going to open the store. We're going to have a midnight listening party. And then once the record is done, you can buy the record at like 12:01. So we'll see how that goes on later tonight. Let's see, The Descendants. This is the Punk Note edition, which is a spoof of the Blue Note cover. Tip-on jacket, too. Then we've got a couple different versions of all. This is the cool blue color vinyl version and just the black version. Masters reclaimed and reissued on the hype sticker there. And then we've got the Descendants Liveage on translucent orange colored vinyl and the same record on black colored vinyl. Chunk of Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. Let's see, Aura Drag. This is on neon green vinyl. Blow in the Wind on red vinyl. Love Their Country on mustard yellow vinyl. And what do we got here? Cat's Eye Wild. This is an indie exclusive 12-inch EP on aquamarina vinyl. Aquamarine vinyl. What is this? What kind of music is this? Rock, pop. And then I've got the standard Precious Jade vinyl. I don't know, one of these is probably standard and one of them is the indie exclusive. Motorhead, couple reissues. The World Is Yours from BMG. And Aftershock. Grace Cummings, Blood Horse, the new album on Cyrox Wax, burgundy colored vinyl. Tyler, the Creator. Don't Tap the Glass. Kind of comes, it's a gatefold, but it comes in like a plastic slipover. Kind of a really cool cover. He always does a really good job of putting together cool packaging. Let's see, 40th anniversary of Run DMC's Raising Hell, which includes the iconic hit Walk This Way and It's Tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. SWV on translucent pink vinyl, the debut album, It's About Time. Pitbull's Greatest Hits. Okay. Let's see, includes the diamond singles Give Me Everything, Timber, featuring Kesha. This is the 2026 Tour edition on blue vinyl. Nipsey Hussle and Bino Raidu, Prolific. This is the Indie Canary yellow vinyl version. And the standard black vinyl version on Atlantic. What do we got here? The Dream, Love Hate, the debut album from The Dream. I always thought it was weird to have a hype sticker like this. Maybe it's just me, but it's like, this is the debut album from The Dream, but it's like, who the hell is The Dream? The hype stickers are written almost like you're supposed to know who this is. But how do you know who somebody is until they actually release a record? Does that make sense? Or I don't know, the internet world, who knows? That guy could be like a famous TikToker for 20 years and who the hell knows? I mean, somebody knows, I just don't. All right, from Craft Recordings, part of the all analog series that they do, this is Roberto Reynoya, Why Su Apollo Sound. Is that his name? Interesting. The name of this album is Lucky 7. 50th anniversary edition includes the hit tracks. I'm not even going to read those. All analog, lacquers cut from the original master tapes, presented on 180 gram vinyl. And what do we got here? I think a lot of this, we'll do some key restocks, but a lot of this is restocks. Restock of Bootsy Collins, Bootsy's Rubber Band, Rhino Reserve, all analog. The Faces, Snakes and Ladders, Rhino Reserve, all analog. In Excess, Kick from Rhino with the proper alignment. I just don't know why they only did that on this one, where they put the actual number there. This is number 3209 of 5,000. Got a restock of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. This is the 45 RPM cut by Kevin Gray. Still cut by Kevin Gray. I don't know how long that thing's going to be in print. I myself have probably sold 5,000 of those things, and you really only get about 100-ish thousand out of a stamper. I can't foresee that being in print much longer. Fleetwood Mac's Future Games, Rhino Reserve, analog cut from tape. And it's the definitive sounding version of Rumors, winner of my shootout on my top 100 in-print analog records you should own. Well, so is this ZZ Top Eliminator. Rhino Hi-Fi, cut from the master tapes by Kevin Gray. And got a Rhino Hi-Fi of Jay Giles live, Full House. Rhino Hi-Fi of The Stooges, self-titled. Gordon Lightfoot, Summertime Dream. Makes me feel nice. How it goes, I don't know. But the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Ooh La La, The Faces. Fantastic record. Rhino Hi-Fi. God, we got a lot of great Rhino Hi-Fi restocks. The Doors, self-titled. Greatest debut album of all time, everybody. Here it is. Uncle Tupelo. Anodyne. This is the limited to 5,000 numbered copy version. And we got a restock of Linda Ronstadt's Hastin' Down the Road. Part of the Spirit of 76. This is all analog, cut from the master tapes by Chris Bellman. As well as the other 4 or 5 that came out last week that are also in stock. Restock of Tom Petty's Wildflowers and all the rest. This is on my top 100 in-print analog records you should own list. Part of the Rhino Spirit of 76. This is Black Sabbath Technical Ecstasy on splatter vinyl. The Book of Love on clear vinyl, self-titled, 40th anniversary edition. Yes, 90125 Rhino Reserve. I believe this is on my top 100 in-print analog records you should own list as well. Otis Blue, fantastic record. Has the original version. He wrote Respect, that Aretha Franklin later covered and made it a smash, but his version is so good. The Smiths, Best, Volume 1. This I don't even think I've ever seen. Some of this stuff I don't even think are reissues. Or like restocks. I don't remember getting this. Johnny Marr's Spirit Power, the best of Johnny Marr. This could be Bibian. She's a little bit of a Oasis / Smiths degenerate. So I see all these like Oasis and Smiths titles here. I'm wondering what's going on here. Oasis, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. This is the 25th anniversary silver vinyl variant. Battersea Park Power Station in the back. Kind of cool. I was right there. Which was the top of the spire. Went up in the elevator, took the tour. It's great. Crystal Castles. This is the self-titled album. Actually, these are new. I don't know why they're in the back. So the back is just a chunk of new stuff. Crystal Castles number 3. We've got Frost Children. Speed Run Hearth Room. Frost Children. Sister. Some interesting covers. And the Alkaline Trio, Crimson. All right, guys, that is it for this week's new arrival video. Again, check out the pre-order section on the website. A ton of great stuff up there. Tons of great Seal original record, sealed stuff from the 60s and 70s. The collection was amazing. There's going to be a ton more stuff put on all week, all weekend. The rest of the week's almost over, but Friday, throughout the weekend and next week. Until next time.